My grandfather started the company in 1917, and he was an Italian immigrant who came from a small town near Venice, and he was 16 years old when he came here. And eventually he saved up enough money to open up a little one-room workshop where he began making wagons. Once he had built up the business, and he learned that the World's Fair was coming to Chicago in 1933, he decided it'd be this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to introduce his brand and his product to the world. And so he took out a loan from the bank that was in the middle of the Depression, so times were really tough, and he built this giant 45-foot tall exhibit of a boy riding a wagon. And my grandma always said it was the only time that she ever really saw him really stressed out because so much was at risk. It was really a watershed event in the company's history because it was when my grandfather introduced the name Radio Flyer to the world. And everyone always says, why Radio Flyer? And it's because radio was the high-tech, cool buzzword at the time, and also Lindbergh had crossed the Atlantic, so the two words, radio and flyer, were really exciting, cool words that he put on the wagon, but it had nothing to do with the product. I became the president of the company in 1997, and my dad was an incredibly generous and gracious dad and let me make a lot of mistakes. And one of the first things he said to me was, my dad let me make a lot of mistakes. You're going to make a lot of mistakes, just don't go out of business making them. 90% of consumer products that are launched fail. And so inherent in coming out with new products, there's going to be failure. And we talk about a thing called intelligent failure. And basically it's that we don't want to bet the farm on any one product. We want to take a lot of different shots with different products. We want to get them to market as quickly as possible because we've learned that we never know what's really going to sell until we get it in consumers' hands in a real form, on a shelf or online for sale. When I came into the business in the 1990s, the business was struggling, and we had some big questions and challenges that we need to answer. What did the Radio Flyer brand mean to people? How could we grow while staying true to our heritage? And so there was always some inherent tension between this heritage brand that everybody knows and loves, but then how can you innovate without messing up the great thing that we've got going. So we decided, instead of fighting the nostalgia, let's just use that as a guardrail and focus in on products that can hit nostalgia but also can be new. For example, recently we came out with tricycles that you can customize on radioflyer.com. And the tricycles actually start out as a stroller. So there's a push handle, you can add canopies, you can add fabric, you can put your child's name on the product. So it's still true to the essence of the brand, but it's connecting with all the things that consumers want today. We don't want to be the biggest toy company in the world, we want to be the best. And one of the ways we talk about ourselves is we want to be the Navy SEALs of wheels. So we use some of these shorthand kind of slogans of we want to be really focused, we want to have the best quality, the best customer service in our category. I think the way that we're able to keep it entrepreneurial here at Radio Flyer is because we're very focused on mastery of always getting better and being the best in our category. And when you do that, it unlocks a lot of opportunities when you're really focused in on how to make something great.